Hey guys, Lawrence Burchett here. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it today. I'm not going to do too much as far as the stuff that we do every time. I just want to go ahead and let y'all know, we're going to get into the Mega Conspiracy Theory Iceberg Tier 1 Part B. And you know what to do if you haven't already. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share it with your friends. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So number one on Tier B, or Part B of Tier 1 is going to be Pizzagate. Now, everybody probably remembers Pizzagate. It got real big back during the 2016 election, presidential election, and it centered around some emails that were leaked or stolen from John Podesta, which was Hillary Clinton's campaign manager. And just bringing that up because that's just what it was. But it centered around supposed code that they found in the video, or in the emails, I'm sorry. And these were codes about human trafficking, codes about child sex rings that were supposedly going on by high-ranking people in the government, which may or may not be true. It's hard to say. I'm not throwing any opinion out about it, but it did lead to one thing in particular. In Washington, D.C., there's a place called Comet Ping Pong Pizza. And supposedly, that was supposed to be one of the restaurants that was used as a front for the human trafficking and the child sex ring activity that was supposedly going on. Now, I know they talked about this on the 4chan channels, and there was a lot of other stuff too, a lot of other places they talked about this going on, and like I said, maybe it is, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, I don't know, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time on it other than I know that it did cause a guy from North Carolina thought that he was doing the right thing, thought he was doing right by, people. He ended up going to Ping Pong Pizza armed, and he searched the entire restaurant and never found a doggone thing. Matter of fact, I believe he live streamed it while he was searching. So, can't really be said that it was faked, that he actually did find something and they just covered it up, because like I said, he was live streaming it, I believe, when he went in there, and of course, he ended up getting arrested. Actually, I think he turned himself in when he didn't find anything. So, that's Pizzagate. Number 2 on today's list, Orbs. Now, Orbs are kind of interesting. And I think that in a lot of ways they can be more, there can be multiple explanations for them. But for the most part, when people take pictures, they'll see something floating in the air. They call it an orb in the photograph, or see it on video. And automatically, a lot of people just automatically go to it's something paranormal. It is, a ghost or energy of some sort. Even in the UFO field, orbs will show up in the sky. Now, sometimes, they may be UFOs or ghosts or paranormal or something like that. But a lot of times, guys, let's just face it, it's probably just a dust speck, or, maybe a bug flying by and the camera just can't focus in on it. Either way, everything should be looked at, and don't believe just everything you see and hear. That's not what we're here for. We need to do some research of our own and go from there with it. The next item up for bid, next topic we're going to talk about is the Reptilians. Now, the Reptilians, there are several different theories and ideas that go with the reptilian conspiracy theory. Some of it is that they have always been here. Maybe they evolved from dinosaurs. Who knows? It could go either way. The other one is that they're actually extraterrestrial and they come from another planet. One of the popular ones that they talk about was Alpha Draconis from the Alpha Draconis star system. And that's where they come from. As a matter of fact, some people call them Drakes or Dracos or the Alpha Draconis species. And the big conspiracy theory that goes along with this is that the ones that are here live underground, or they're shapeshifters, and that they are actually infiltrating the governments of the world. And sometimes people will see photographs or see videos and see the pixelation in the videos of certain ones of our world leaders, so to speak, and they'll see them eyeballs with the slits in them, and that's automatically, proof that they're some reptilian overlord, whatever, and that they've infiltrated. I think sometimes it's just pixelation. I don't know. I can't say for sure. But, I think most of the time it's just pixelation in the photograph or the video. But it really could go either way. So one of the people that actually made this a very popular theory was David Icke. David Icke is from the UK. He actually has written several books, been on a lot of television and radio shows. He's very well known in the conspiracy theory community, and but he was one that popularized the reptilian conspiracy theory. So if you ever want to look at any of his work, a lot of it's really good work, whether you agree with it or not, because I'm just going to say I don't agree with all of it, but I do say look at a lot of his work. It's very well done. He's a very intelligent man, and who knows, you might just learn something from it. Alright, the next one we're going to do is the New World Order. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the New World Order because A, we've talked about them before, and B, we will likely talk about them again, just because why not? But the idea of the New World Order, the idea that there is a group of people that are hell-bent on ruling the world, or already do, and they just let us believe that we actually have something going, some semblance of freedom or whatever. Now, some people also with the New World Order, they mix in there the Illuminati, which the Illuminati technically does not exist anymore, but people can always find Illuminati symbolism in things, and maybe they do exist. I don't know. But like I said, we did go over the New World Order. We talked about it a while back, several months back actually. And so I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time on the New World Order. And like I said, we will eventually go over it again and talk about them again, because I'm sure they're going to pop right back up. Okay, so here's one that we haven't talked about, and I really think we should talk about it because it's been kind of out there in the zeitgeist. We're going on 30 years now. Well, in 2025, it'll be 30 years since the idea of Nibiru, or Planet X, was first brought into, kind of brought into the zeitgeist. The idea of Nibiru was that every 3,600 years, this planet or brown dwarf star, or maybe it's a ship, who knows, but it's big, that it's on a 3,600 year orbit, and it comes by every 3,600 years. And with Nibiru, it causes all sorts of chaos and mayhem here on Earth, whether it be from the gravitational pull or, just close call, drags a bunch of stuff into the atmosphere or into the orbit of Earth and causes a bunch of crap like that. There have been some people that have actually claimed that Nibiru the last time around that it came around, that it coincided with the Great Flood from biblical times, the story of Noah's Ark, and caused cataclysms then, and that may have been what caused it. Another theory is that the Anunnaki, which I don't know that we've talked about them, but we will eventually, because I would like to get into like some different alien races type stuff just for fun. But the Anunnaki, that's their home world, and that's how they get here, and that's how they got here before, and that's how they left, and that's how they'll get here again. So we'll have to definitely talk about that at a later date, but that's really where I'm going to leave it today, because that's just where I want to leave it today, and we might actually talk about Nibiru a little bit more later on as well. Okay, next on the list is Area 51. If you see her ears, we're actually joined in the studio today by my little German Shepherd, Katie. And, she's got to have her nose and everything. But Area 51. So, with Area 51, everybody's got all these theories that Area 51 is where they took the alien spacecraft and the dead aliens and what have you. That's where they're setting from the Roswell crash and this, that, and the other. Now, I personally believe it's most likely not Area 51. Now, I'm not saying they didn't go to Area 51 at one point in time, but they didn't stay there any length of time. I think they went to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, and that's personally what I believe. But we do know now, and for the longest time, they just straight said anytime anybody'd bring up Area 51, it doesn't exist, you guys are crazy, blah, 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 blah. Well, now Area 51's fairly open. I mean, they know Area 51 exists, and that it is part of the world as we live in. We also know now that Area 51 is also where government contractors, such as places like Raytheon or Lockheed Martin, that's where they build and test new aircraft for the United States military. We know that to be a fact now. So as far as Area 51, now does that mean that there's not back-engineered alien spacecraft or anything like that? Absolutely not. That's not what that means at all. Matter of fact, I would venture to say that a lot of the stuff that we have now militarily is back-engineered alien spacecraft. And so obviously they did it at Area 51. Area 51 does happen to be just north of, not just north, but it's north of Nevada, or north of Las Vegas. And people that do work there, they put them on a lot of them, they put them on a plane every day and fly them up there. And I believe it was Area 51 where, it's Area 51 where, like the SR-71 Blackbird and certain ones of those, the U-2 spy plane was developed and tested at first. So that's where we'll leave Area 51. Alright, next on the list is Flat Earth. Now, I get tickled at this, and there are some of these Flat Earth theories that are out there that actually crack me up. And some of them are actually very intelligently put together, and it makes you really wonder. It does me anyway. They've put the time in, and they have done some great research and they've actually, some of it is very believable. And, I can't help but actually pay attention to it and look at it and at least listen to what they have to say. Now, the one thing that I will say, though, is that, there's a lot of science to back up the fact that the Earth isn't flat. But, you know what? Some science can be made to look kind of funny. Now, one of the theories is that we're kind of like in a snow globe. And a lot of people do take this, they take this theory from, the whole, from the biblical accounts of the firmament and all that. But I think that, more than anything, that was just understanding of the world and the universe at that time. But there are some theories that the Earth is actually on a flat plane and that we're surrounded by a wall of ice, which is Antarctica, and Antarctica basically surrounds the entire oceans and everything and keeps the water in, and there we go. And that's why there's claims that that's why, regular citizens are not even allowed to go to Antarctica, because they might find out the truth. I don't know about all that. I personally believe there's aliens down there. That's my thoughts. But there's other claims that once you get past that great ice wall into Antarctica, that there might actually be more out there other than just what we call Earth. There might be other regions out there, but for the most part, you have the ice wall that keeps the oceans from draining out, and then you have the glass dome over top of it, and that the sun and the moon actually are closer and smaller than what people say they are, and that they actually revolve around the Earth. And like I said, some of the theories are extremely entertaining, but some of them I'm really intrigued by the research that they've done and the things that the evidence that they put forth. Some of it's very well put together. The Bilderberg Group, or the Bilderbergs. Now, we have kind of touched on the Bilderbergs, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but and I'm sure we will touch on it again, like 2023 when the Bilderberg meeting comes up again. We might just talk about some of the stuff, because you can go to their website and look what their topics of the year are that they're going to speak about. But just to recap, the Bilderberg meetings, or the Bilderberg Group, was a meeting that was put together in 1954 in the Netherlands at the Bilderberg Hotel. I'm going to refrain from saying the town that it was in, because I cannot pronounce it and I will butcher it, and I don't feel like butchering it, but there's a limited number of people, 150 or so people are invited every year. It's an invite only, it's off the record, and it is typically the most powerful people in the world are invited to it, which kind of, puts you back on the track of the New World Order thought process, and a small number of people actually running the world as we know it today. And yeah, that's that. This year, or this next year, we will go ahead and watch the Bilderberg Group, because like I said, they don't even hide anymore what they're doing. They have a website, and they put on there what their agenda is for the year, their talking points, and the things they're going to speak about. So we'll be watching that, and we'll probably do a Bilderberg update this next year, or right around the time of their meeting. Alright, our next topic is Ouija Boards. Alright, so Ouija Boards. Basically, around the 70s, around the time of the making of The Exorcist, Ouija Boards got a bad rap. It was said that that's how the little girl in the movie got possessed by the demon Pazuzu. I think that, honestly, any kind of, really and truly, to me, a Ouija board is no different than doing things with, like, EVPs or spirit boxes or anything like that, because none of those things, think about it, none of those things have caller ID, so you don't know who's calling, who you're talking to. Is it possible that demonic forces could come through and, haunt people or take advantage of people or hurt people? Absolutely, it's possible. but I don't see it as any different than any other type of divination device or divination tool or a television or a telephone or anything like that. Me personally, I don't see it any different, and therefore, I'm definitely not gonna sit and say, oh, they're bad, they're evil, don't ever touch them, blah, blah, blah. There is a right way and a wrong way to use them, I would say, just like anything else. And you probably should not be messing with it if you've never done it. And I believe that there's a certain amount of respect that needs to go into using any divination tools. I mean, it's like anything else. You have to use it responsibly. So that's where I'm going to leave the Ouija board conversation for today. We may well get back into it at a later date on a standalone video. Not sure yet, but anything's possible. Alright, crop circles. This is where we're going to end it today, is with crop circles. They kind of gained their prominence back in the 1980s in the UK, and I believe that is still where you probably actually see the majority of them still to this day, is in the UK. But I will say that crop circles, they're very intriguing. We don't know how all of them are made. Yes, there have been some that we know are hoaxed, some that we know are man-made. People done them to get their 15 minutes of fame. Some of them, people just, some of them there is no explanation for them. But some of them are very elaborate. A lot of them, to me, most of them are just absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's art in itself. But as far as where they come from, some people claim that they're alien spacecraft that have come down and made them. Some claim that it's possibly even the Earth herself that has done these to use them as like a, like a directional sign, or, like a beacon to people from other worlds. Interesting thing, a lot of them, when they've been done, it smashes the wheat or the crop down and essentially ruins that crop for that year, or that portion of it. But a lot of people have claimed that after that year, the next year, the area where the crop circles were done was had some of the best production that they had ever seen in that particular plot of land. So maybe there is something to it. Now, I do know that there have been researchers out in some of them that have no explanation, and there's been high electrical fields in the area where the crop circle was done. There have been people that have claimed to have felt nauseous when they were in there, probably from the high electrical fields, because extremely high EMF field can make you feel nauseous. There have been even people that have claimed to have been healed from illnesses when they go into one. I don't, I ain't there. I can't prove it. I can't disprove it. Therefore, I won't even try. But either way, crop circles are pretty freaking cool, dude. I absolutely love seeing them. Some of them are, like I said, just absolutely beautiful, but intriguing at the same time. And some of them, like I said, are proven and known to be man-made. And even those, the people that did it, they've got talent that I don't have at all. But I think that's where we're going to end Tier 1 Part B today, guys. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section. Check out our Facebook page. Follow us over there at Facebook, Reality's Edge with Lawrence Burchett. Give us thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell to get notified, guys. Shoot me an email if you don't want to leave a public comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts about what we're talking about right now. And do me a favor, guys. love yourselves, love each other. Peace out.